Shalom. Start by saying the praises to Yah. I want to Hashem, Yahshua, Hashem, Yahshua, double to the apostles and elders of great. Shalom to the whole land. Where Hebrew Israelites come out every week to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom in the corners from the prophecy written inside of the Bible, the great awakening of the elected, the chosen of the nation of Israel, alright, and to go out on the highways and preach the end, alright, and these days we're presently in the last days, right, more or less the last days and the last days are getting really down to the wire, should I say, and where the Lord is going to really reveal himself and shine himself. The major thing going on right now, because it's happening, you can see there's, it's up to you if you want to do it.
I don't know how visible it's going to be, but might as well try.
You can see them.
Oh, you can't zoom. No. Oh, wait, no, you can. You can. Yeah.
Hour or so, 2 hours, maybe even longer than that. We've been marching, and that's the main controversial thing right now. And that's biblical prophecy happening before your eyes. Right? What's happening down there between the state of Israel and the Palestinians is biblical prophecy coming to pass. Alright? And ultimately it's going to come to a head. Because when you deal with, it tells you in the book of Jeremiah, the least of the flock shall draw them out. Now the state of Israel is a proxy of America. It being a proxy of America is doing the bidding of America over in the Middle East. But ultimately, America is known as Babylon the Great in the Holy Bible, alright? And the state of Israel is basically being handed over to them with the extension of their power. Now, by them, at some point or other, after the key prophecies written inside of the Bible, that of the mark, right, which is the microchip, and which will lead to the start of World War III. And the precursor to World War III is going to be what exactly? It's going to be Israel attacking another nation. It doesn't, we can go into the prophecy, but it doesn't speak to what nation it is. It just says that the least of the flock shall draw them out. Right? So only what's going to happen is, right now you're seeing these rumblings going on. It's for those that are in the know, those that are watching as well as praying, to know that we're close. Right? Because all the things going on, I don't think it's going to boil over or simmer down. It's only going to culminate to that end time. But let's see. You got time?
1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
Yeah, so this is Paul writing to the Israelites in Thessalonica. They basically saying, look, brethren, these people, all right, he's saying that, look, you have no need for me to basically make it known, because you know that the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. Right? Why? Because they're aware that a lot of people are going to be taken by surprise when the Lord makes his return. Right? God, read
Verse 3, for when they shall say peace and safety.
Yeah, when they shall say peace and safety, when everything calms down and everything's all good, God, read on.
Then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child.
Yeah, as a woman, so the comparison, the allegory that was made to destruction coming was what? Was that of when a woman is pregnant. Now she might have, when she's going through the early signs of labor, she has a labor pain, you know, of the baby coming. And it might come to a height where she feels like she's about to have a baby, but it simmers down, but then it comes back around. But that's what it's going to be like with the destruction. Culminate like the birth of a child. Right? And that's what we're seeing right now. But what you got to do is you got to look at, be mindful of the thing. And it says it in the book of 2 Corinthians, discourages shall come, but they shall not always be mindful. Like, people are not seeing what's going on in the world, and they don't know that the Lord is about to make his return, man. We're in some special times right now. Because when you go back to from the turn of the decade, 2020, right, and especially in March, which even shows you something that these elites, the powers that be, understand the seasons and the times, right? Because the start of the year is in March, all right? More so around the start of when you've had a full cycle of the moon phases going into the beginning of the year, the start of spring, all right? So you had in the month of March, you had what? The pandemic started. And they started, having everyone on lockdown. Then they started implementing certain things, dealing with what? The vaccine, you know what I'm talking about, the shot. And then they had the pandemic, a lot of people dying through the midst of that COVID thing. And then as time progressed, you had the financial industry take a great, great hit, right? But what they're doing is they're bringing to fruition their plans of a new world order, right? They're destroying the world of old and they're bringing about a new world, right? That's why with the means of something like vaccinations and financials being compromised, bringing about a new system, these things are being done for the means of them establishing a system, right? Also, the other thing is with the food, right? Them going into Ukraine being the breadbasket of the world, basically, where you get 70% of the grain around the world basically suffers due to the conflict over there. That is set in stone, set in motion a big compromise of the food on the earth. Then you can't, even when we dwell on the food, boy, you can't forget about Bill Gates, right? Over in America, he's buying up all the farmland, right? He's bought up all, damn near everything, man. So he's making it as you gotta get there. What food do you have to buy? You have to buy the Franken food. That's it. So now even you have I see if there's controversy. You know that apple cider vinegar is like a thing that just it's not a tonic, but it's like the cure rule. Now if you got any issues going on, that's the cure rule for anything. You take some apple cider vinegar. So what got found out is that the brands of apple cider vinegar got bought up by a proxy of Bill Gates through Katy Perry, right? And they basically now they blew it up. It's no longer organic, right? So they're doing things like that where the things they're buying up and the things they're doing basically allows them to get one over all of the people, all right? But this is, as time progresses, we just know we're close because all the things we see happening, we know what's going on. But when you delve into Israel, you have a lot of judgment going through, right? You have former men that are witness faith being judged and being shown that the lifestyle they're living right now is like they're being put before you as a means of they're gonna get judged or something, right? So we know that it's that time. It's getting close to the Heavenly Father's coming to the house of Israel first, the house of Jacob, and so we're gonna judge there first, and then going about and then judging the world according to whatever the Heavenly Father has set before them, right? Let's get
I'll read verse 3 again. So it says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Yeah, I was going to say on that as well, when it comes to the time for the child to come forth, there's no alarm. You're not sitting there and then there's a timer. You go to your watch and it's like, oh, there's 230 hours until I'm going to give birth. Now it comes as a shock. It comes kind of from the blue. That's why they'll have you'll have like sitcoms or TV shows where someone's pregnant. They usually have it at an unfortunate moment when their water breaks and it's like, oh shit, they're about to have the baby. It's a surprise. It's a shock. That's how these things are going to come to people that are not really paying attention. Because when you deal with all these prophecies, these are things that essentially are long in the tooth. When you go to the financial system, it's something it's basically taking a long amount of time. Same thing with that implant. That's something where it's not just been like, oh, it's popped out and now it's coming. A lot of these things take a little while to come to the fullness. So people are just looking and be like, oh, they'll kind of doze off. But then it's the same thing as with Noah, where they'll just like, they would have seen Noah and been like, oh, what's all this? They're like, nah, it's dead food, whatever. Then until the moment of crisis comes, then like, damn, there was a purpose to that moment. And that's going to be the same thing. It says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, as that that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. And yeah, that's the dichotomy. That's the two different aspects you essentially have warring. We're on the right hand side, we're basically striving to be that spiritual righteousness in high places. We're trying to be that order, that elect order, starting with 144,000. Essentially, it's going to represent righteousness. It's going to be the bedrock of this. And we're going against what is the spiritual wickedness on the left hand side. That they essentially when we're dealing with these elites, they're enshrined. They're basically brought up on the left hand side doing their own forms of wickedness. That's why they've established themselves. That's why there's darkness over the earth, there's confusion. People are not even aware of what's going down. They think, there's people that think, like, it's funny, there's been the veganism push from 2010 on, it really picked up. Right? Before, I remember prior to like the recent like kind of social media vegan push, you would have had like vegetarians or pescatarians, people that deal with just fish and veg or just veg. They'll still deal with dairy to them. But now it's like you've had the vegan push, and that's really come with Frankenfoods. Because it was the Beyond Meat burger saying, oh, it has blood, and this is just like a regular burger. The Beyond, it's all the substitute foods. Because I remember you used to get like veggie burgers, fish burgers, whatever. That was just kind of it's just fish. But it would just be like a combination of veg and like potatoes and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it's McDonald's.
Yeah.
It was had a taste to it. Like you could make it now. Just go and get some carrots, some vegetables, like make them. Consistency. And then I think I like chicken.
Yeah. That's like a lot of the stuff. Because when you go to them, a lot of recipes that are vegetarian, they'll have like certain things. Because I remember even like where I used to work before, they had burgers like veggie burger, which was like mushrooms, breadcrumbs, and then cheese in the middle. And then that's just like, that's just essentially, it's not just, we're trying to make a substitute form of meat. But that's really what it's come to. And then the funny thing is they say it's to help the environment, or we should be grazing this much cattle. But it's like there's YouTube videos you're watching, they'll go into it. It's like even, they say like the feed that goes to cattle is, a lot of it will be like parts of corn, parts of different like plants, which humans don't eat anyway. There's like leftovers where that gets turned into feed. They'll say like even the water that they drink, the majority of it is rainwater, which people don't drink, and it's like anyway, that's not impacted. But then they'll kind of measure these things and say all this water, all this food that can be going to people is being put into cattle. But then that's essentially selling it a certain way. In reality, it's that shit's sustainable as fuck. But it's pushing off from the old. It's essentially bringing everything into that new system and that new order, where you have it's essentially top down how things are managed. Because you're mentioning essentially they're trying to bring disconnect people from the prior way things were run and bring them into the new shit. The new shit is about essentially having to all come from one source, which is why it's like a monetary system we under that as well. The food, the Silent Cream is a good example. Because that's the thing, it's like you have this, the last thing I was going to say on the food thing, I'll get back to the description, is the system they use for like growing the substitute meat. They can't even grow it at scale. They don't even have a way of reducing it to where people can eat. It's the same with like, if everyone went vegan, there wouldn't be enough vegan products. People would be starving.
Yeah.
So it's like the shit isn't even sustainable at a point where it's sustainable. It's basically just been spoken of like it's being propositioned like this is the way of the future. But in reality, if everyone was to go vegan, then the shit's unmatched. There's not enough grain, there's not enough products to eat.
Yeah. Let me read this as a point to what you were saying about not wanting to give the animals grain in them. Proverbs 12 and 10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast. So what you meant to do, you're meant to now be okay, you want to tend to your animals in a certain kind of nature. So it would be feeding them the correct food, but in turn, what's going to happen? You're also going to be digesting that same food. Whether they've digested what built them up and their fiber, their DNA. Right, so if you ain't doing that, then all that's really going to happen is that you're going to be consuming some toxic waste. If the animals you eat, candy and all that type of stuff, they're going to be malnourished. Right? And there's going to be toxins and disease in them. So when you consume them, you're taking them as well. Right?
And that's why it's you know, you have bottom feeders part of the diet. When it comes in, it's you know, they're holding that in all that toxicity within them. It's funny, it's like even with exercise, if you got an animal, if you don't give them exercise, they'll get sore. Like it's just more big as needed. And that will then, you know, it's essentially like muscles. So it's like how are you gonna get them to develop it in a healthy manner? You have to do them in certain way. But these again, it all goes into this new system. I remember watching a fucking video of like pigs getting carbon monoxide poisoned to death because that's how they killed them in the slaughterhouse. But bro, you hear the screams of these pigs. They're fucking screaming.
Well, you should be eating them.
Yeah. That's what I was like, bro, I was watching it. I was just like, bro, you guys screaming, climbing over each other, trying to get out and fighting the being asphyxiated. I'm like, bro, like, they're in a state of terror. Like, they're already unclean. You're just ensuring there's all kind of fucking chemicals sealing that meat afterwards as well. And that's the thing, it's like, I remember the chickens as well. They have like, I think, a boiling or something, and they have their heads dipped into it. And you know, try to shock them to death. And then even with the chicks, if all the male chicks just get put in the blender, like they'll just have it where it's like the females that can lay eggs at the process, any of the males they just put them in the blender. I'm just like, bro, the whole system how these sort of run shit is what makes it unrighteous. It's not that, you know, being vegan is inherently more justified just of that. It's because the means of how it's run shit is demonic as well. The thing is now he's looking to cement that even further. It's what the even newer system, he's trying to do where there's nothing outside of it. So I read this, Ezekiel 28, 2 says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Most High Power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas. Yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. And that's been the same. Yeah, that's been the same. Well, the same flaw that's coming to these different heathen rulers, man. They get the rule, they get power, and they really think that they've become a god on earth, man. They think they can't go down. Their fucking will, you know, they'll say like, yo, you know, have that guy take him to the stables and have his mouth filled with pig shit, and then someone will follow through and do it, man. They'll, you know, their words have that much power So they feed into themselves. But that's the thing, is like that's something that's been appointed onto you. That's something that's been loaned onto you essentially for a set period of time. You'll have the rule. And that's the thing with these elites. They're thinking that because they've got the blessing of what their wisdom, their capability to utilize technology to certain extents, they're thinking they're going to be able to pull off, like maintaining themselves in the long term. But what's the reality? The reality is it ain't going to be that easy, or it ain't going to work out. They think the Most High is with them because they've been in power and have done certain things. They've especially come against, the tribes of the Sinai, and no punishment is materialized. They think the Most High is down with what they're doing. They think they're going to be fortified in continuing their rule. But that same pride is being used against them. Because it's in real talk. You can see how things are going. If the days weren't shortened, there'll be no flesh left to be saved. It says verse 3, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten riches, hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom, by thy traffic, hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Yeah, the monetary aspect is a big part. That's a big portion of how control is done. With this modern economy, you essentially have it where it's globalized as well. Whatever happens within the sphere of the dollar, the sphere of the pound, the sphere of the euro, those things have global ramifications. You have a great amount of production like China, where things are being produced, things are being sold. The economies they're being sold to are on the other side of the world. And that's the thing, everything's all linked. Because it's linked, you can amass a great amount of wealth and power into one spot to have global impacts. But then it's also vice versa. If it's weakened, then that weakness can also be exploited very easily. Now say I read this as well. Pursuing to weakness. You got
No.
I mean the jungle. Should have watched that.
I forgot. When I'm walking around,
I was like,
and I remember as soon as I left, I was like, I always forget.
I saw the rain. I was like, nah, I know it's gonna be.
But you know what it is? Because I go on the train. I don't want to
Yeah, the train is fucked. Especially when it's raining.
and it's always running. Nowhere out there. It's just like the side is well. It's like
So Daniel 2:41, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part pots clay, part iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for so much as thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet, part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be, partly strong and partly broken. Yeah, that's a key part of current rulership. It's a mixture of the iron and the clay. It's got the might, you've got aspects of it where there's strength, like America's military strength, Germany for ingenuity, for monetarily as well. There's might within various aspects, but then there's also weakness. And that's the thing, is like a big part of that weakness is Satan being divided against himself. Because what does it say? And whereas, verse 43, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. Yet it's not one big cohesive unit, which is why you have like Russia and Ukraine. You have like the US and Russia divide. It's both Esau. They're both part of the same. They go back to the same group. But then what they're dividing against themselves is white. And it's prophecy. And because they're trying to essentially be the headman. But these are things where it's like, if that's how your system's running, in the long term, how's the shit gonna work out? You can go back to the world wars. It's like what the King's Man, Britain one, goes into it. It's like World War One. It was a bunch of people sending their sons to die for the interests of people that don't know and care nothing about. And that's a big part of these conflicts. But then now it's people are getting emotionally invested. Because why? Everything's building up, everything's bubbling up. The thing is, what we have forming is that final war, man, that third world. A war that's basically being built to the scale where it's, no one's going to be untouched by it. And just like World War I, World War II, everyone's going to be drawn in.
That's book of Revelations. Or Revelation. Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So there's going to be a time where there's going to be, the Lord is, as the brother mentioned, the Heavenly Father is going to judge everyone upon the earth, right? He's going to look at, basically going to make his judgment felt. And that's going to be done through the means of World War III and everything. And it's a precursor to World War III. Alright, being that when you go into Jeremiah the 15th chapter, it speaks about different forms of death, or punishment being set forth to, amend to right the wrongs of the people. So the Heavenly Father, we're out here to offer warning unto the elect, and only to the elect, and to basically make it known to those that are outside of the temple that the Heavenly Father is going to reveal himself and judge everyone according to what they done to his people, right? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. Basically, everyone here is guilty, man. And if you say I didn't do nothing, you did something in your past life, right? Or by default, you being born who you're born to, that's it, man. And when you go to slavery, you had Israelites being born into slavery, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They didn't ask for it.
Whole generation.
Yeah, generations. We're talking for 400 years, right? Being born into it. They didn't have no say, so wait, hold on, man. How did you get into slavery in West Coast of Africa? Why you still, they didn't. You're here to keep doing what we're doing. That's it. They kept the ball rolling. So that's how it's gonna be. If you happen to be Edomite, you're outside of the children of Israel, even if you're the children of Israel, all right? And if you're not of the elect, you're gonna be judged accordingly, all right? That's how the Heavenly Father moves. That's why we're out here, man. We know the terms of the Most High, we persuade men. We're hoping that in showing them our diligence, that the Heavenly Father has mercy upon us.
So, we basically have crimes over our, we got crimes on our action. That's what we're working to basically found blameless. I read this, Isaiah 24, 1 says, behold, the Lord Yahweh maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be, as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. The land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, the Lord Yahweh has spoken His word. Yeah, that's what goes into in Revelation 13. How essentially your status is going to be ineffectual once judgment comes to take place. As it is, there's people where they might think. But yeah, that's why it's like with former status, those things are cease to get you out. That's been how the brother was saying. Like the old man was born in slavery. So David went into slavery. All the nation went into slavery. Like those the elders and whatever, everyone got grabbed up and thrown into slavery. So that's gonna be the same thing when the judgment takes place now. You have those that are gonna he's old. Oh, it's like no, I'm a billionaire. No.
Not anymore.
It's like all this, any form of they might be like, oh, I come from a direct line, unbroken from X, Y, Z. Those things will be thrown in the bin. It's going to come down to, hey, the Lord is not a respecter of men. That's going to be found. This current society is one of the biggest respecters of men of all time. Right now, it's like you can have a certain amount of social media followers, and people think that you're someone of some regard. You might have no capability or talents, but just born into money or a position. So, yeah, even that, something that you didn't even have no. That's basically parents' genes.
And it might even literally be like photogenic, like in person, you're not that attractive. But you're photogenic. Look good in pictures.
Your angles.
Yeah.
And then
people like that. You see them in pictures, like, wow, it's supposed to be cute. But you see that, it's not even why would it work.
Yeah, that. But that's why it's these things now everything has become supremely superficial, supremely base. All the worst aspects of society are now being accentuated. And that's why it's even more righteous for this place to be done away with. Right? And that's again why people are going to be found caught slipping. Then now is a time when people think essentially, the world's been conquered. They have an gained an understanding of any and everything. If people even think like in psychology, they could affect it. Okay, well, if I take these pills, I'm going to stop being sad, or something to that extent. They think they've mastered and conquered the world and the flesh. But those things are going to be found to be lies. Because all that is funny, because like that's the so-called knowledge or wisdom is a thing that's exalted.
Guys, do you mind if I take a picture of this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Take a photo.
Yeah. Where you from? You don't mind me asking? Brazil. Yeah, the natives to Brazil are Asher.
Sorry?
Brazil falls under Asher.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Alright,
Thank you.
take care.
The wisdom, the knowledge, that's one of the things people pride themselves in the whole talk about science and studies and whatnot. But that's the thing, it's just because you gain understanding, you gain capability to do things. But that doesn't mean just because you go into space doesn't then mean you conquer everything on Earth.
The only reason why you go up to space is for the prophecy being fulfilled. That's the only reason. There's no other reason why that was happening. Right?
So verse 4 says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the haughty people of the earth do languish. Yeah, there's always been people. Now it's not the same thing. The thing is, they've always been humble. Being humble, that's done been the MO, the most side for the longest, man. Basically, remind men like, yo, you guys are just men again. Man.
Mira qué bonito se ve esa.
And that's something that they're gonna realize. Because in the coming time, that's the thing. It's like there's people where they've lost track of being hungry. It's funny. We're in a time where being overweight is an issue. That's like a huge crisis. I think in the US, 60% of people in the US are overweight, that's a majority. It's just fucking wild. So then that shows like there's an abundance to that extent. So there's a lot of people they've not been without. They've not got the mindset of dealing with being without. There's people where it's like you can distract yourself and never have to even face reality. You can be sitting at home, you can put food in, you can put a prostitute online, you can get every need met. and with relative ease. But that's why it's like when hardship comes, it's gonna come like a fucking what's the term? Like it's gonna think it's a complete shock. It's gonna be a surprise, man. They're gonna be completely unexpected, unprepared for when these things happen, and all that pride is gonna cease to be. There's people that don't even realize what their mindset is prideful. You guys are thinking, oh, we evolved from monkeys like X amount of hundreds of thousands of years ago. You thinking that is pride, man. You thinking you understand, certain things going on in the planet Earth, it's pride. You're going to find that it is pride. It's going to be moved from you. Says that, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Yeah, these things, Esau set up his whole own structure and system of rule, man. This guy's out here basically putting laws on things where they have no business being laws, and then completely disregarded where Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has put laws and established his own shit. This guy's basically set a complete different structure to the world, to where he said, like, no, you were wrong. Actually, if a man wants to ski off with another man, that's righteous. And that's how, now everyone's basically been raised and their mindset has been shifted to where whatever he is presenting, those are the things that have been accepted. And it's funny, they'll be like, oh, if someone looks at that sideways, they'll be like, this, he's ignorant or backwards thinking. But hey, they're gonna find out. Well, if Esau's right enough, is just, then his ship will stand. His ship will prove itself over time. If not, then the inverse. Verse 6, therefore hath the curse devoured the whole earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men and few men left. Yeah, that's basically come down to one. To a massive amount of judgment, death and destruction. That's where the end result of all this is. They even said where they say the earth was defiled under the inhabitants thereof. It's got to the extent where it's bring destruction upon nature. Yeah, the example to go to is also always the Dust Bowl, where you basically had the earth be tilled in the US. It was basically utilized until there was no nutrients left. Then they had to go back and be like, yo, how were man doing this? Medieval times, the so-called Dark Ages, then they had to bring it, go back to crop rotation. The things that they were looking at like, it's dead food. Who even needs this knowledge? This wisdom's useless. They threw it in the bin, and until there were consequences, they were just like, yeah, it's all good. And these are the things. In the end, the truth comes out. And and that's what it's now is basically that being put to its maximum extent. We're seeing like, yo, ESO system, how's it gonna stand? All these wars and conflicts, how's it gonna stand? The plans of these elites, how's it gonna stand?
Well, I've got an example where when you go into the book of First Maccabees, I'm going to read it. It speaks to the example because the war is it's a Galatian war. How you doing? You right?
Yeah. Yeah, the club's right, yeah.
Know about it?
Yeah, Judah, yeah. One of the kids, I said.
Yeah.
One of the kids of Judah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that one.
Where you from?
Seychelles.
Seychelles. Okay.
You
I
know
got
it?
a friend from Seychelles. Yeah. Off the coast of Africa, right? Nigeria. We're really Hebrew. Yeah. From lineage. When you go back to the establishment of the nations on the earth, the people on the earth, you had a man named Noah, and he had his 3 sons.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone comes from Noah. So everyone comes from Noah, his 3 sons. So that's where you had the divide. So you had for example, I think it was Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Japheth would be the Polynesians, on that side. You know that they're Japheth. The people on the Polynesian islands.
That's the third point.
Yeah. And then I can't remember the way, but you had Ham, which belongs to Africa. So it'd be all the East Africans. So I think, they're scattered in between. But then what you have also, that's alright. We have also, you have Shem. Shem had 5 sons. Fax had Ram, Asher, Lud.
Oh, yeah.
I forget the last name, but basically had 5 sons. So through a fact that Elam. Elam is today the modern day Indians, people in the islands there, Elam. A fact that you have different lands, a Ramid and a Shur. A Ramid is Syria and a Shur is Syria. So when you go down to get to a land where basically the Hebrews are thinking in a puzzle. The Hebrews are these people in a sign, the so-called
Benjamin.
no, all of these. So blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they're all Hebrew. We also have the so-called white man. We also have the Chinese and the Japanese are Hebrew as well. And you also have the Arabs. So when they say anti-Semitic, the so-called Jews, it doesn't make sense because everyone, East Indian, if you're from India, it's not they're not the only ones. Yeah, like there's loads of people that come from the seven. Like Indians are Semitic. Syrians are Semitic. There's a lot of people. But I'll get to a point. So million, yeah. Well, not million, but thousands of years. Yeah. We're not over our country where we say we're from originally. Like, in Seychelles right now. Yeah. Oh, we'll be over there. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's why you need to know where the route goes back. Where I'm going. That's where I was going to go. They inextricably linked to because what's happening right now, you see the protests happening in Palestine and Israel. Like those people over in the land of Israel, they're impossible. But I understand what you're saying, but that's true. But I'm saying those people that are there right now, they're not the real Jews. No, you're missing what I'm saying. But I'm saying it very plainly. You're saying something else. The real Jews are the so-called Negroes in America. They're the real Jews. So like Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, that's God's people. That's why when you see over in America, You had a lot of talent come out. Because that's God's chief tribe. Yeah.
But you know what? You know when that's what I think. Same time, man.
This is a fable, bro.
Well,
I'm gonna entertain it.
well, driven out of
Of heaven.
and that's why you learn it, right? You learn it around those countries. Because you know what? Where it comes from, right?
Yeah.
You know, they go bananas.
I know.
You know, like around Israel, Palestine, Syria.
Well, that's because the Heavenly Father.
Arabia,
I know you're saying. Yeah, because this is okay, we're gonna have to show you scripture because Revelation 7 is like a ride. But basically, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Those people in the land, they're not the real Jews. So when you read the Bible, the Heavenly Father gave that land, right? Because He said, the middle, that land. No, but you're missing the point. I'm trying to let me entertain you for a minute. Let me explain myself. That land there was known as the Fertile Crescent. Fertile Crescent. If you look up history, it's known as the Fertile Crescent. From Egypt, going up through that landmass, through Syria, up to the Euphrates, like Iraq, all that area. So that's the Fertile Crescent. That land was like abundant. Like if you want to talk about resources come out of the land, that land was remember like you said, people migrate, time changes things. So now just let me land on my point so you can kind of see where I'm coming from. Once upon a time, that land was the place to be.
All right.
That land is like the junction for the whole world. If you want to
Like
go
the Garden
anywhere,
of Eden, yeah?
it was, and the Garden of Eden actually is the earth, but he said he planted Eden's the earth, but he said he planted the garden eastward, which is there. So the point is that place is like a junction. If you want to go into Africa, you come through there. If you want to go towards the middle, towards Saudi Arabia, etc., you want to go towards India, the Far East, you want to go up north, that's like the interlink to the whole world, basically. And then it has the water, the Mediterranean Sea, where it goes to the Americas. That's a good point. So the Heavenly Father, the reason why He gave that land is because He said that's heavenly throne, earth is His footstool. The way He put His feet upon the earth is that land. Now, the people that are there are not His people. So he's not blessing that place because they're not His people. So it's interlinked, it's spiritual and physical. You don't get blessed because you're not the people. So that's the reason scriptures.
Because you know what? I mean, my little place I come from, I think I'm blessed there because we have everything out of the ground.
But this is the thing as well.
Pineapple,
Yeah,
guava.
so that's
We
it.
can live there without
But what you gotta remember as well is it coincides like this. The spiritual thing and practical, they both coincide one another. They both work together. So now the people that are over in your land, do they respect the land? I'm saying, do the people, for you to get pineapple, are people going there and chopping down the tree?
Yeah, they are. Well, now they are, because whatever, it's growing up.
Yeah. But would your grandfather, did he go out there and chop down the tree? He go there and get the fruit, right? So this is what I'm talking about. Because in the Bible, it says Jerusalem was a place for the people's sake. The word Jerusalem goes back to Lashon Kodesh, the Rosh Hashanah, city of peace, right? The people are known as the city of peace. These people on the sign, they're peaceful. Like you, I'm sure you know, you're peaceful. You're not really, like, with the sort of white man now, see what's going on in Israel, his thing is war. War. Kill, destruction. So when you go to this dark, so with our people, when we're somewhere, we just chill. Like, what do? We just enjoy it. That's why I'm saying. So those people in that land, you see what they're doing to the bombing the shower, them, they're killing them, blood. And but more so,
follow the teaching. Yes, we go over there.
So,
Well,
all of them over there.
So, Revelation 2 and 9 says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
So this is a letter to speaking to the Israelites. I know that works.
Works. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
Tribulation and poverty. So he's saying the people that of the Heavenly Father are in tribulation and in poverty. Right? So the Jews that are here on this earth today, are they in tribulation and poverty?
what do you think?
I would say so. They run the banking system. Hollywood, everything.
Cinema.
Yeah, yeah. So they're definitely not being spoke. The
Walmart,
judicial system.
Wall, Wall Street.
Yeah. So let's read on. Alright?
But thou art rich. And
Rich because the Heavenly Father gave them the word.
I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
So there's a people that go around today who say they're the Jews, but they're not the Jews. But they're the synagogue of Satan. So they, even when you deal with modern day Jews, they follow a thing known as the Talmud. Right? They don't follow Judaism, is a combination of the Torah. They like to say they read the Torah, but they don't really mess with the Torah. They mess with the Talmud. Now the Talmud has pedophilic kind of things in there, and like satanic type of what do I put it? Government and like systems of worship. Yeah, systems of worship. So it's like they sacrifice babies, they drink blood, things like that. Right? So these people today, that's what they do.
So the riches. That's
Oh,
what
mammon, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what? Because
Anyway, that's
Revelation 2 and 9.
Yeah.
but like,
Well, you gotta eat the whole roll. You know, you gotta like it all.
no, I'm not working on that one because for me,
What, Revelation? Oh, Matthew. Yeah. Well, the gospel. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
you have to be on a certain rule. You can't just pick it up and
Yeah. Yeah.
like something about liberty.
Read it. That's what
Yeah, Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord Jehovah,
Yeah.
and the Lord Jehovah shall scatter.
This is what it's saying in Old English. It's saying the same thing. When the Lord was on the scene, what was he reading from? When he quoted the Bible, when he was saying like this is the fulfillment of this scripture. When he spoke about John the Baptist, he said this is the fulfillment of this scripture and that scripture. He's reading from Malachi and Isaiah. So everything that the Lord was quoting was from the Old Testament.
I'll read this as well. Matthew 30.
That's over there. I'm trying to put some of those things up. What was that?
Go ahead.
You like my ears, man?
Yeah.
We're still going down.
Matthew 13 and 52. Then said he unto them, therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man of his household, which bringeth forth out of his treasure things new and old.
That's talking about the New Testament and the Old Testament. Every scribe instructed unto the kingdom of heaven. You know what a scribe is? The writer. So anyone who was in this faith instructed unto the Heavenly Father and heaven, the heavenly kingdom. You gotta go into the Old Testament and you gotta go into the New Testament. both of them were working tandem work together. Because imagine there's some prophecies in the New Testament that have been fulfilled, there's some prophecies in the Old Testament that hasn't been fulfilled. So you know, that shows you that they both work. Like one that's been fulfilled is like Matthew 24. It speaks about the abomination of desolation. When you see them coming to the temple, run to the hills, basically. Matthew 24, paraphrasing. That's happened. That happened in 70 AD. 2,000 years ago. Right? But now, prophecies in the Old Testament, which talk about the mark of the beast, that's not going to happen. That hasn't happened. So that shows you the Old and New Testament, you can't let go of one, you've got to deal with both of them. Right?
So Deuteronomy 24 says, and the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth.
See, this is going into your point. The brother said before. Right, in order for you to know where you're going, you have to know where you come from. So the Heavenly Father and purpose for the children in Israel is what? They'll be scattered around the whole world.
From the one end of the earth even unto the other.
Yeah.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So basically we're gonna fall into idol worship. So you're gonna have a lot of people who fall into idol worship. I'll show you this. And let me show you this. What you say you believe in Jesus Christ.
Well, I follow Jesus' teaching.
Okay.
Jesus of Nazareth.
So what does he look like? But I understand that. But when he was on the earth, but that you know why I asked that? No, go on. Good point.
In that word, is parents described? It is.
Let's go to it. Because that just shows you what we're talking about. Because it said, you shall serve other gods with wood and stone. Because Jesus Christ isn't the same man as in the Bible. Jesus Christ, okay, first off, Jesus Christ is an English name. When you go back into the time of 2,000 years ago, no one was saying Jesus, because no one spoke English. They spoke Hebrew. So there was no J didn't come around until the 17th century. It's a form of I, right? So even before that, they would have called him Isus, because J wasn't around. So even before that, he had a Hebrew name. So that's why I'm saying you don't even know you've been worshiping something that's not the true. Yeah, but okay, you've been following something that's not the real thing. If you were following the right thing, when I would have asked you, it would instantly said, this is what it is.
I'll just get this one. John 19 and 19. And Pilate wrote a title, put it on the cross, and the writing was, I'll read it verbatim, Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. This title then read many of the Jews, for the place where Jesus was crucified was nigh to the city, and it was written in Hebrew and Greek and Latin.
No English there, because the reason why it was written in those three languages, this is where we go into that whole, you have to know where you come from to know where you're going. Back then, you had the Greco-Roman Empire. So the Greeks first came in and Hellenized most of the nation, the land of Israel.
Most of the world.
So that's why you have the name Judea, different things, and that's why when you go into the Bible, Romans and things like that, it says there's no Greek, no Jew. Why is it saying that? Because a lot of them were Hellenized. They follow the Greek customs. So, and then you have people that follow the... That's... Say that again? Okay, no, I understand. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, you gotta come back and yeah. That's fine. That's fine. We'll just yeah. We'll go to the point. I'm kind of so
So Revelation 1:13, and in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
Son of Man. So this is describing the Lord. Yeah. Right.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot. So an ancient Middle Eastern garment. I'm sure you know most nations go back to. They wear garments like this. Even Nigeria we wear things. Ghana, they wear everywhere in the world except the Western world. Really doesn't wear garments like this. You know what I mean? Like Middle Eastern.
Well, I suppose that also is maybe to do with the climate.
Yeah.
Because if you're living in that place where you call it everywhere.
I mean, it's climate.
It's
But
custom.
others, it's customs over.
It's purely
Because
custom.
this is like, now we wear jeans, trainers. I'm wearing like a baseball jacket. This is all American clothing, technically. But yeah, go ahead.
So one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
So yeah, he was clothed with a garment and a golden girdle. So yeah, a belt, but a golden girdle. So you know, we utilize this warfare to keep you upright, but it's also will be used to stop any form of. If someone wants to stab you in the belly, that'll be a form of protection as well.
His head and his hairs, were white like wool, as white as snow.
Yeah, this is
Genesis,
Revelation. So he's talking about his hair. It's woolly in texture, like you have woolly hair, I have woolly hair. If I grow my hair out, you can we have woolly hair, right? But it's also white, gray, because the color gray hair denotes wisdom. The reason why it denotes wisdom is because of age and experience. Usually as you get older, you have gray hair. So it means you should have seen something and you should have learned from something. But yeah, the young, but then you do have old fools. You have people that grow older and they still want to be, and that's why even you have a lot of people that want to dye their hair, they still want to be young. And they're running away from being wise, experience, age, health. Go ahead.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
So his eyes are a flame of fire. That goes back to a prophecy in Genesis where it talks about him drinking wine. If you know anything about the gospel, you know it says in Matthew 11 that when there was contention, they said, no, they said John, you got that as well, in turning the water to wine, but basically when there was contention, they said John came there with even eating and drinking. Yeah, they say he had a devil. They said something from it. They said the Lord came eating and drinking, and they said, look, a wine with blood and a blood. So because you like to eat, you like to drink. But the reason, there's no law against drinking. You just have to, be in moderation. There's a filter. Because even in the book of Proverbs, it's encouraged. If you're going through a hard life, you got to take off the pain a little bit. You got to drink. You can't do that. Not to deal with the pain, it allows them to deal with their circumstances. Yeah. Go ahead.
So it says, and his feet like unto fine brass.
Now this is his feet. Remember those people wear sandals back then. So it said his feet were like fine brass. What color is brass? Yeah. So we're gonna read on that.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
What color is anything? Burn some coals. What color is that gonna be? That's gonna be dark, isn't it? If you burn something, we can even look it up. Read it again.
That's in Genesis.
There's other scriptures that speak about it. Daniel, might be Daniel. The book of Daniel speaks about the same thing. Yes. Woolly hair, and also speaks about the Most High God. It says the Most High, he looks the same way as what? So Africa. So my point is why I'm saying it to you. because now we're showing you that what you've been worshipping, there's an image of the man in the Bible, and there's a reason why there's an ambiguity to they make the image of the Heavenly Father and the image of the Son a bit ambiguous. You say, I don't know what he looks like, or I don't care, because there's power in you knowing he's a so-called black man. Because if you know God is a black man, then you're going to think, wait, hold on, black people, the image they show of black people is a negative one. So it makes you think, wait, hold on, if they're God's chosen people, and then something isn't right then. You know what I mean? So now let's go to Matthew 1. Yeah.
Get to this country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Came to England.
Okay.
And you had a statue of Mary, baby Jesus.
Yeah.
And you had it under his chair, like that. And that color was black.
Yeah.
But the thing, I don't know if you noticed that, but it was hiding under the chair.
Those are the icons, but they those even like the papacy. The papacy goes back to our people. During the time, you go back into the time of Europe during the Dark Ages, we had the Holy Roman Empire, and you had all that type of stuff. That was our people that were ruling, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Today, the so-called Negroes, the blacks, the blacks, West Indians, the nations, that was our people in Europe. How about the Moors and everything like that?
I heard of it.
All of our people scattered all over Europe. We had ruled dominion over the land. And the papacy was set up by our people. But it was a pagan form of worship. For us. Right?
Basically blended
Like
Babylon,
yeah.
300 AD was when they kind of standardized Christianity. They brought in a bunch of heathen practices because it was universalized, making it acceptable for everyone. Which is why you have days like, well, even like you've got Sunday is a day of worship. Goes back to sun worship. We've got Christmas, which is basically the Saturnalia and the what's it called, the winter solstice. Like Easter is going back to this time, and that's basically
Yes, I agree.
It's like the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, definitely. But you do have at the same time you have to teach us. But the reason why we know what we know is community. But let's read this. We're not going to the main kind of
So Matthew 1:21, and she shall bring forth a son.
I was talking about Mary and Joseph, right? Birth of the Lord, right?
And thou shalt call his name.
Yeah, you can say,
Yahushai, but he shall call his people. No. And thou shalt call his name Yahushai, but he shall save his people from their sins.
all right? Yahushai. Okay, well, we've got to give you that. Yahushai, who is like the Spirit sent us. The Holy Spirit, our teachers, learn the Hebrew, the true Hebrew, according to God. Right? It's not going to say Yahushai, but it's going to say Jesus. But the name is Yahushai.
No, what it's not in the King James.
No. You're not going to find it. We're telling you for the Spirit. That's his name. That's the name. If you want to save the name, you can save the name.
Because that book it came to me by
What, Matthew?
No, that Bible.
Okay.
It was the only book in the shop. And this woman down downstairs.
Yeah.
In the market.
Yeah.
There's another stuff, bricks now, all kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's funny, we read out the same thing. Well, because the same thing is inviting you there right now. Oh, yeah? Yeah. Probably. Oh, yeah. Nah. But this is the thing, I'm saying the same thing. The Lord's name is Yahweh Shai, that's the name. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, like I said before, the verse says that you will worship other idols. So the fact that you accept Jesus Christ and you didn't know who he is, I'm showing you that the Bible says who he is. His name is Yahweh Shai. Okay. What name do you use? But even that's the same thing. Because his name is Jesus. That's what you're saying. Yeah, no, but it's the same thing. Because Yahweh Shai is his name. Like if he was here today, his name wouldn't be Jesus. That's an English. That's what I'm trying to say. It's an English word. So that's what I'm saying. So even when you go into it, what is his name? Jesus. See, I even so it shows a lot because you don't know what the name is or what it means. You don't really know a lot about it. Yeah. But you know, Satan can heal you. Satan can heal you. This is my point. I'm telling you that, look, today you've got a blessing that you have found out the true name of the Heavenly Father. Well, I told you the Heavenly Father, but you swear to it. No, I haven't. You haven't said it. We ain't said it. We said the Lord's name. We haven't said God's name.
Anyway, man, nice talking to you, man. I'm gonna go now.
All right, man.
You guys always up there?
On a Saturday, yeah. Around this time, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right, man. Take care. All right, see.
Yeah, it was a block. Yeah. Main thing, yeah, it's like, Jesus is nothing. Satan can lash you up, man. Acts 4 and 12 says, neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we might be saved. So you got to be damn sure. You know, man said, it's funny as well, because he even said, it's like, you just told me the name, and I already forgot. Yeah, he said he already forgot it. And then he was like, oh, don't call him Jesus.
And then he said his name
I call him Jesus. And
Nazareth.
I'm like, and then what's it supposed to mean? I was going to get into that one. Matthew 1:21. Like, he is delivered, he is salvation. But
We didn't get that far.
yeah. So he doesn't even know like this, and it's tied to the name to get like what it's gonna do for you. But you know, man, that's the spirit, man. Because we went into it, it's like worship wood and stone. They're Jake cling to them idols, man. Jake cling to them idols. They've been, you know what? I think yeah. So Ezekiel 8. Yeah, Ezekiel 8:5. It says, then said he unto me, Son of man, lift up thine eyes now the way towards the north. So I lifted up mine eyes the way towards the north. And behold, northward at the gate of the altar, this image of jealousy in the entrance. He said, furthermore unto me, Son of man, seest thou what they do, even the great abominations that the house of Israel committeth here, and that I should go far from my sanctuary. But turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations. And yeah, that's among Jacob. It's been a given. Jacob be out here doing all form of criminal forms of worship. And hey, that's the thing. It's whether it will be among those that are established, those among the elders, or the young ones coming up. That's been Israel's MO for the longest, man. And then for them to get hold in it, they'll be holding it. Man. It's like you get these jakes of being Christianity. You try to talk them out. You show them inside, outside, every aspect of the scripture. What they're worshiping is false. They ain't gonna hear it. That's been Jake, man. It says, and he brought, verse 7, he brought me to the door of the court, and when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. And he said unto me, Son of man, dig now on the wall. And when I had digged in the wall, behold, a door. And he said unto me, so man had it hidden in the crevices, man. And that's why a lot of the modern day forms of worship, these things are being done behind closed doors. Where actually it goes down, you have people, they're doing it in the dark, man. They're not doing it on the surface level. I mean, I don't know why Jake will be wrapped in Palestine flag, but that's what Jake will be. Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be a Jake.
The temple's over there. The only other one is Black Friday. Straight down there.
Black Friday's closing more than like Alcohol Station. Not even
Close that one all the time though. I don't even know what
I don't know.
I'm thinking about that.
They rebuilt. I thought it was when they rebuilt it. Even after they rebuilt it, they just closed like a regular.
That's a weird one to me.
Makes no sense.
Probably like football or something.
Yeah. house. And I'm like, why they rebuild the whole city? Their ship is fresh, resplendent, but then they're just, you know, they just never get off there. So Ezekiel 8 and 9, he said unto me, go in and behold the wicked abominations that they do there. So I went in and saw, behold, every form of creeping things, and abominable beasts, and all the idols of the house of Israel were praying upon the wall round about. Yeah, it's funny because, like, even when it's like you bring up the image, I'm like, bro, if you're gonna say the name Jesus, you know exactly what image is connected to that. You say to anyone Jesus, an image is gonna materialize and pop up in your brain because you go into popular media, you go into TV, you go into all forms of artwork, all front, like that name has been tied to that Cesare Borgia image. So for a guy to, you know, all of a sudden, as soon as you mention, oh, what does he look like? Then the defense comes up of, oh, well, you know, we don't really have, you know, there's no image in my mind. No, that's a lie. Because whether you like it or not, it's gonna, you think of, say the word Jesus, and, you know, image is gonna come to mind. But it says what? So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping thing, and abominable beast, and all the idols of the house of Israel were prayed on the wall round about. And there stood before them 70 men of the ancients of the house of Israel. And in the midst of them, Jaazaniah, the son of Shaphan, with every man his censer in his hand, and a thick cloud of incense went up. Then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancients of the house of Israel do in the dark, every man in the chambers of his imagery? For they say, the Lord Yahweh seeth us not, the Lord Yahweh hath forsaken the earth. And yeah, that's so it's been among the ancients, man, among those that are meant to be the men of high regard, man, the most learned men out of Israel, the most honorable men. What are they doing? They're out there burning incense onto even abominable things. And that's the thing, it's like now it's not it's the same thing running again.
Where you guys filming?
We're us teaching
Teaching.
the Bible, yeah.
Oh, how long you been teaching the Bible? So you're teaching online?
Yeah, it's being online.
To where?
Well, with anyone that is wants to hear it.
What, you guys have a platform?
That's the only platform.
Where?
On YouTube.
What's it called?
GMS. What do you think about the state of the world right now?
The tragedy.
Yeah?
They put it in there. I'm trying not to get involved in politics because
Politics will get involved.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Right, it's getting to the point where it's like, you know, people are gonna hold a knife at you. Say, who'd you vote for?
Well, even it's come to a point where I understand right now. You heard about the mark of the beast? You never heard of the mark of the beast? Wow, that's the first, man. Right, so you heard. I'm sure you've heard about an implantable microchip.
the sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, like how they want to put chips in. Stuff like that.
Everybody's starting to
Science reality right now.
Yeah, that's
some people wouldn't volunteer to have it done.
So everything that's going on right now. I mean, the $1 million question is who won it? The Latin phrase which means who benefits. So everything that's going on in the world right now, who benefits? Who stands to make bank with these things going on?
Well,
You get
business.
that's it. Or they can see them, they can do this, to turn off your money, turn on your money, total control. These are it's a biblical prophecy, basically. So that's known as a mark of the beast. but it's a tempt. If you, this is the thing, if you know the Bible is just full of stories over and over again of temptation. The Heavenly Father tempted you, putting you in predicament. Like the book of Job. Job was like the richest man on earth at that time. And the devil came to him and said, like they spoke to him and he said, have you considered my servant Job? He said, yeah, he's a good servant. He believes, does everything you say. But he said, look, it's because you put up a shield around him. But if you take the hedge down, he won't worship you. So the Most High said, go, do your thing, but don't kill him. So the first thing, he killed all his family, killed all his money, everything, except his wife. And then he sat there at the end and was like, the Lord give it, the Lord take it away. Like, I receive good, I'm going to receive bad. And his wife said, like, you still keep your integrity because of the Most High. So then, after that, Satan came to again, struck him with wells, and basically the whole book is going through his relationship with the Most High and how the Most High tempted him. So the whole Bible is like that. So the time we're heading into now is an hour of temptation, where everyone's going to be tempted. That's why
the book of who?
The book of Job.
Job, J-O-B.
J-O-B, yeah. The richest man. The sermon is a white man, but he's actually black because all the people in the Bible descend from these tribes. So they would be today known as Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So we're all the same people. Like the Hispanics, you know, Puerto Ricans, all that. He's going to read this real quick.
Job 30 and 30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat.
So yeah, that's the man. Oh, go ahead. So yeah, so everything that's going on right now, from the onset of the pandemic to the shortage of food, like when you go into your supermarket, superstore, things like that, that's all prophecy. Read Matthew 24, Mark 13, Luke 21. It tells you about shortage of food, it tells you about pestilence, disease, it talks about all these different things. So when you see the protest, that's a prophecy, that's a big prophecy, because it says, the least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock is talking about, the flock is talking about America. America's known as Babylon the Great. The least of them is the state of Israel. And they're the ones who are going to bring about World War III, what's going to culminate in the Middle East. Now, the prophecies have to happen one by one. So the main one is the mark of the beast, World War III, and then the return of the Lord, which is going to be, guess how he's coming back? UFOs. Have you noticed what they've been saying about UFOs in the news recently?
They're making it more transparent that they found it and UFOs.
And why do you think they're doing that? If you put it all together, they're saying that because if there's an outward threat, they want everyone to come together to fight against the
They want us to
UFO.
be aware of when they're hiding.
Because if you don't come against it, say, they come to save us. It's a power thing because you're giving. If I believe something, I'm giving energy. If I believe the devil, I'm giving energy and power to the devil. If I believe in God, the Most High, I'm giving power to him. So they're leeching off. It's like, I don't know if you've seen Dragon Ball Z. Well, okay, I was gonna say Spirit Bomb because it's like Goku's like, give me your energy, and then they give his energy. Like the more energy, the more power they have. So they want you to fight against God. Like they want you on his side. As opposed to, that's what I'm saying with the whole Palestine-Israel thing. There's two big prophecies, the least of the flock, and it says the heathen shall, the reason why that land is so cursed is because God's people is not over there. The people that are over there are basically different nations fighting over the land. But it'd be blessed if the real people, when the real people are over there, it flourishes.
That's not going to happen anymore.
Not until things I mentioned, mark of the beast, World War III, and the return of our Lord. Those are the main. So if you just look at everything that's going on
I would
right
have looked
now,
at it.
yeah, it's bad. But we're here all the time.
Bro, you guys keep preaching.
Yeah, no
You hear all
problem.
the time about this same stuff.
Saturday is around this time.
Don't scare my customers.
No, we don't.
Nah,
We won't. Yeah. We even if it gets, because we've been out there for a while, If he gets on top, if he sees a wedding in him, he's further down because
How they do.
he videos up throughout the course of the week as well.
I never really got to do it.
So yeah. Alright.
Good afternoon.
No, it's all
Yeah. Okay.
And you were saying, right?
Yeah. I have a feeling I know who it was. Did he have the sign as well?
Yeah, and he was dressed
Similar.
simple, yeah. Nice guy, very pleasant, not aggressive.
Was he short than you? Around 7'10".
Nice guy, as I say. Right,
Yeah.
you know, very similar to this, he was.
Yeah, so these people on the sign, so-called blacks,
Yes, that's what he was saying.
down to like, I'll make it simple.
Yeah.
Black, Hispanic, or Latin, and Native American, they're the children of the Most High God, right? They're the Israelites. When you read the Bible, and you read about 12 sons of Jacob, these are the right? So with the sign, it's a prophecy. When everything we do is about prophecy in the Bible. It tells you the book of Revelation 19:10. The Spirit of the Lord. Yeah. Okay, so basically the way you deal with the Bible, this is how we do it. We draw from the King James, specifically the 1611 King James. So the 1611 is the authorized version of the King James. Now the authorized version comes with the Apocrypha. So it's when you read this part of the Old Testament, you have the Old Testament and the New Testament. We have a small book in the middle known as the Apocrypha. Now the Apocrypha has the Maccabees. So there's a, when you go into the New Testament, I don't know how familiar you are with okay. Yeah, so basically you had a thing where you celebrated Hanukkah, the Feast of Lights. Yeah. But that's, in this modern day, there's like a Jewish, Christian, but we're Hebrew Israelites, so we keep Hanukkah as well. It's a Feast of Lights. Now that feast goes back to a specific event during the time of the Maccabees. So basically, Judas Maccabees, was like Maccabees brothers. Their father was, what's his name again? The father was basically it's when the Greeks came into power. There's no mention, when you read the Bible, it goes from the Old Testament during the time of the Persians, then it jumps to Rome, where this is the Greeks. So if you read it, it's a Greco-Roman Empire, and the Persians were taken down by Alexander. So Alexander went around, he came into the land, and then after he died, he split up into portions, and he had a Matthias, that's Matthias. So basically, you had a during the time of the Greeks, you had Alexander was around for like 12 years, he died, and he partitioned his empire among the Maccabees. And in the Bible, it's going to show you the Bible is Alexander, verbatim. It tells you everything in the Bible. So, yeah, definitely. But I'll get into that.
So, First Maccabees 1,
Just jump to the point. 1 and 9, 1 and 7.
so it says, let's start from 6. Okay, so First Maccabees 1 and 4 says, and he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto it. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honourable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule every one in his place.
Yeah, so that was talking about Lasanias, Cassandra, Ptolemy, Seleucus. So you had the land of Israel during the time was in something known as the Syrian Wars. But basically, it was war against the Seleucid Empire and the Ptolemaic Empire. So the Ptolemaic Empire had Cleopatra. So you know about Cleopatra and Egypt and the Seleucids, and they were a conflict. But what happened during that time is most of our people were Hellenized. Some of them were Hellenized, but some of us were just But now, I'm just paraphrasing. But I just want to ask you a question first about the Bible. So the reason why we go back to 1611 is because it has, when you go out to the Hebrew, it's a closest to the Hebrew Bible. So you can translate, you can actually go back to the Hebrew and see word for word is in the Bible. Oh yeah, definitely. It speaks black though, it's as bad as black. Well, this is the thing. Let's go into it. Okay. Well, okay, we're going to show you some Bible. Romans 8.
So Romans 8:16 says, the Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
Now, do you know what a spirit is? The Bible resonates. So if you have a spirit, the Bible is so if the Bible resonates with your spirit, I mean, we could be one of the children of the Most High. But if it doesn't, then it means you are adversity. That means it isn't for you, right? So I agree.
John 6:63, it is the Spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing.
Right? So it's talking about the spirit quickly. Yeah. So the spirit makes you understand. Go ahead.
The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
So the word is the Bible. That's spirit and life.
So you don't need to let
That's you're correct. You're correct. It's about the inside. Yeah, inside. Yeah. That's it. Alright, so now we're gonna show one thing we have to know though is how you do it. Like I said, we see one here, Judah, chief tribe, that's the head tribe. The Heavenly Father's name is that tribe. Yeah. So now his main tribe here, the Negro, is the black. Alright? Now let's do this. So the Edomites are the so-called we know as Celtic, right? Right? So Judah, you might be a but if you are here, man, it's not good thing. But we're just going to show you the same thing. No, black. You can have a black one. So, I just said it's the word is in general. Yeah. General. Yeah. That's
He seems a nice guy.
yeah.
I think this is a few chats we can mention to you. We're working out for you.
I hope you say we're nice guys as well.
Of course,
Yeah. I'll just one question. So where you from? Like your family, like London, architect? Yeah, where from St. Margaret, 88, so I'm 35. 35. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's why I asked, because you'd fall under being a couple, right? Technically. Yeah. Because the reason why I say that is because Chucky, that's East End in general. As you know, my niece is like but Bible talks about after the person saying afterlife.
Like Eastern, well, until like the Olympics,
Yes, justification. I know why you're gonna say doctor. Go ahead. Yeah.
oh yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like.
In there.
Cladding as well, that's why they made a lot of money there.
I remember the chewing gum. I was like, oh my god. That was yeah, they started having them off so they couldn't remember back for years and sleeping.
It's awesome.
Oh, you know, quick one, just like you said, so Proverbs 16:4, the Lord power made all things for itself, made even the wicked for the day of evil. So there are those made as the wicked for the day of evil, bad day.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I can't. Yeah.
Why is it such a scripture? Why is it such a harmless to the dog?
Yeah. Bit everywhere. Jazz is like my kind of song. But yeah, like everywhere. Yeah. Well, I'm south of the river now.
I think I'm just about, I'm there.
There's a camera on, that's why I don't want to.
Oh, I didn't film.
Yeah. But we don't have a lot of viewers, so they got the back of you. I don't think they've even really heard of conversation. I don't think they've really had that. Yeah, likewise. Yeah, yeah, you too. Right. Yeah. Right. Just check if it's on.
Yeah. You know, it's gonna.
I was gonna say it's funny because he's like a throwback to what it was like growing up.
Yeah.
You get the racist one, and you get the one like, that's why I realized like one thing I might get told is why you're too nice. But it's because I grew up with a lot of you're walking down the road and you have a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, you know, if you fucking cool, like a coffee. But it's a mixed bag in the thing. You might get
Funny, yeah. It's like up until a certain point, it was kind of chill. I think it's more as like mid 2000s kind of shifted.
Yeah. 90s is different, man. Playing out. 95 is like 2000.
At the time,
5 years.
just out like easy. But they run out some shit. But that's why it's well, even though it's like I spoke to someone else at the side, said, oh, they're peaceable as well. Why? It's down to the spirit. It's the gut. I think you said, you know, there's good and there's those where, you know, weakened elements, which ain't, you know, it should be a surprise. Even the other guy as well, I was like, it's a spirit today. It's funny you mentioned like kind of been drawn by the sign, but it's something that time of when everyone's going to be tried. And that's like Job is the ultimate example of being, you know, having been exalted and then abased to like levels where a lot of people ain't even experienced. There's people right now in Gaza where they're experiencing those forms of hell, man. Job 2:1 says, again there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord Yahweh, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. It's funny as well, the guy that came up before, he mentioned about Satan falling from, you know, where he fell and how he fell. It's like, you know, the white boy that came up. Kind of way easier than the guy before. It's kind of funny stuff. But it's a spirit. I read it, it's a spirit. The spirit basically makes it take root. That's just what and the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth, of walking up and down in it. Yeah, Satan's out there, you know, going to and fro. There's people, you know, jumping in and out, utilizing people. But by and large, that's the really, like, people have been open season for Satan to utilize them. And now it's really you can see, it's been running rampant. So things that people, it's funny because hedonism has been a negative for the longest. Now it's basically being displayed as a virtue for you to just go and fulfill your wants and needs. But it's because why? It's you know, Satan's basically taking the wheel. So it says, well, and the Lord Jehovah said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, and that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth the Most High, and escheweth evil. And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him, to destroy him without cause. Yeah, it's like even when, that's a thing as well, it's like, that's part of integrity. When you do experience harshness, when you do experience trials, tribulations, you don't just then just instantly flip it. Nah, fuck this. I'm gonna do, and you know, you flip from what you were, from you know how you, what you were, what defined you before. You know, if it takes a bit of hardship to just flip on you know, you stand for, then you never really stood for it. And that's like by and large a lot more people so-called stand for today. It's until, you know, their belly gets hungry, or until it affects their money, until it affects various things. That's a funny thing. It's like, consider like, I think this month is BLM month. Black History Month. You know, the company, they were doing it as well, off of any various aspects tied to the slave trade, but they're going to be promoting, you know, Black History Month. Yeah. But then, are they going to, like, to what lengths are they going to go to correct their past, you know, past actions? Those same companies going to make. They, you know, ain't going to be doing much in the scale of things. Because they might think like, oh, for a few mil on this, if they're $1 billion company, then it's like, well, even a million. That's like a percent, less than a percent would be. And then the same with what you call it, the alphabet program, LGBT, everyone's pushing it. Let me outlawed again. Because it's the same company that promote it. It's funny, someone did like a thing where in social media where they want to brainwash and agitate. They went to the accounts for like the Middle East and China, and they did do that. So it's like if in this country was to be outlawed again, everyone else would ride with it. Most people would ride with it. They wouldn't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. I'm gonna take a stand. They wouldn't give shit. They'll just ride with it. Because that's what most people do, right? So that's funny. It's like most people don't have integrity. And it's coming into a time where that's going to be exposed on a far grander scale. It's funny, it's like the thing now with standing for Palestine, or Palestine and Israel situation. That whole, the social aspect of it anyway, as far as, you know, people looking at you a certain way, depending on what side you're standing on. Most people are just going to roll with what the majority says. Because I know most people, so they probably would have just had someone chat to them in union or whatever. You know, this is terrible. You know, they go out for a march every now and then. They post on social media and that's about it. But it's going to come to a point where it's you know, it's going to be life or death, where you stand on certain things. Because the key one is always going to be that brass grain, man. That mark. Where are you going to step? You know, you're going to take it or not. And there's people where they'll say, oh, no, I won't take it. But they've not been put, they've been tried, man. They've not felt the heat. They've not been in a situation where they've basically had to hold to, you know, hold to their beliefs and draw through. It's funny, like, remember, what was it? one of the airlines in the US, when it became mandatory for you to get the shot, there were ones where people get fired for it. There were various places where it's like, yo, if you didn't get it, then you'll get fired for it. And there were hella people where and it's funny, like, up until the point where it got revoked, there were people that were getting fired for it like a month before. And then like afterwards, they're saying actually we just take it away. So there's people where they would have been drilled through, and then they didn't have to fuck with it. But there's people that folded, and now it's just, but that's how you know it was a psyop. It was to see how people respond, to see what the mentality of the people is. You know, who folds and doesn't, to what extent, how much pressure is enough to get them to do it. I remember it was like on social media, you would go, everyone as soon as they get, they'll be posting it on socials, get all the likes, be like blah blah blah, posting the emoji with the mask on and everything, being like, go out and get your shots. But then what? It's like now, no one talks, like, it's not even, it's even needed to go anywhere. There's people where they compromise themselves. They might have said like X, Y, Z, but then they swiftly compromise themselves. So it says what, Job 2 and 4, it says, and saying answered the Lord Yahweh and said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And there's a lot of people, they might break a leg, they might, lose certain capabilities, lose a finger, you can get fucked up with a then they'll just be like, yo, so what, why is it, like, what's going on? No, that's the thing, it's like, when it comes to negatives, there's a lot of people where the negative aspects come in, and then they start, it gets too much for them. But that's the thing. We'll get to it still. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Satan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. And it's funny because, like, for us now, it's like brother mentioned, we've been born into the hand of our enemies. We've essentially been over here. Esau's system has been set up to where globally you can't even escape it. You might think that, oh, it's a good example is like even like India's an example where over there feminism has been taken off like no man's business. Like a lot of so-called third world countries, they've had a lot of the what you call it, the wine of this place, it's been leaking over. So I remember we went to Ghana, you see adverts like the same brand, them men are all over there. I remember might be talking about Americanization. That's been like globally, that Americanization has been taken off. It's why everyone's basically brought into that same system. Wherever you go, you're going to be dealing with that same system. Which, should be a shock, should be a surprise. Because, hey, Esau's had that grip. So it's like, even if, you might think, oh, you're going to be able to escape it, these things are going to hit globally. Nigeria is a good example. Where they'll essentially discussing it, like saying, yo, is this the mark of the beast? It's why they're getting into, the mandates and then getting into the implants as well. That's the thing that's been spoken about. And, people feel one way, but it's going to get to the point where you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to be faced, get it or not. And it may not just be like once. You might tell the guy, fuck off. A month later, you might have to be hungry, you might have lost your job, the woman might be haranguing you, etc. The pressure is going to be applied over time. Verse 7. So when Satan forth from the presence of the Lord Yahweh, and smote Job with sore oil, and the soul of his foot unto his crown, and he took him a potsherd to scrape himself with wool, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. And he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of them the foolish woman speaketh. And yeah, that's it. She hit a limit point, man. The way it was like the hardships was too much. But then that's the difference between men and women. Men, they have more of a threshold. That's why it was it wasn't Adam that was deceived, it was Eve. And then Eve utilized, the womanly wiles to get to Adam. And that's again, it's like, Job was cracked. So it's gonna be that's when it comes to those hardships. You're gonna have a lot of men that their women's gonna crack. And then you're like, look, you're gonna need to do this or else we're done.
That's why I said, remember Lot's wife. She died in an attempt to stay, hold on to something that, was done. Finished it.
These guys are so, them men in Sodom and Gomorrah are so done. Man said the angels come down like, yo, we want to know them, man. Man would think, like man said, like any man come in the city, they're thinking they will gang rape them to death, man. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? And for this did not Job sin with his lips. Yeah, that's the rule. Shall we receive good and not receive evil? It's funny because people in the world will say like, the universe just gives you what, it's completely random and blah. No, it's you receive good, you receive evil. You receive times where you're being insulted, times where you're being abased, times where you're tried, times where you get eased up from being tried. You get something good. But as such, that's why it's a thing where, you basically got to be prepared, man. I read this, Job 38:3. It says, Gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and an answer thou me. Yeah, gird up thy loins like a man. It basically comes at a point where you've got to be fortified, you've got to be certified, you've got to be cemented. Why? What's coming is going to get on top. And that's the thing as well, it's like the role of the men is to be that core man. Yeah, I think it's well.
Yeah, because it looks like it's about to.
Yeah. I know. I'm thinking it's like.
The fact that you knew that you said,
I did not want to jump. But yeah, I think Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So yeah, that's gonna be them troubles, man. Gonna be them trials, gonna be them tribulations. And that's what it's gonna be open season, man. It's really good. It's gonna get real. Because the thing is, for now, you can still distract yourself. And the thing is, up until the end, you'll be able to. It says, like, in the time of Noah, there were people, getting married, giving in marriage, feasting, having a good time, right until the doors of the ark shut. right up onto the tip at the end. And that's how it's going to be. People will think, oh, you know, yeah, you know, the new Marvel things come out though. Or you know, they'll yeah, the Premier, yeah, the FA Cup final though. They'll be like, yeah, the World Cup, like they'll think, you know, things still going on. Mean it's all good. But then it's really gonna come as a shock. So yeah, you know, wrap it up there. Say, you know, Lord willing, we'll be out next week. Say all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Arakah, don't want to see apostles and elders, great most that rule well. Shalom, man. Shalom.